Hello, everyone, and welcome to another exciting episode of the Pineapple Podcast. Today we have Steven and Sonia from Serene Properties. These guys are pioneers and investors in the Hamilton market in Ontario. Today we're going to talk about why Hamilton, how you can get involved in Hamilton, and we'll get to know Steven and Sonia too as they continue your journey. And remember, guys, at the Pineapple, it's all about being tough on the outside, sweet on the inside, and wearing your crown of gratitude proudly. Welcome to the Pineapple Podcast, guys. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Good morning, Mitch.
Thanks for having us.
Oh, it's my pleasure. So, I want to definitely jump into sort of the Hamilton market because you guys are doing several projects there. I know we cross over on the project that we're working on there as well, trying to get some efficiencies. So I was curious to know for viewers as well as why the Hamilton market? Like we could invest in any market, right? But there's a lot of things happening in Hamilton. And I thought it would be a good point for you to start with in terms of why the Hamilton market.
Yeah, absolutely. We'd be more than happy to share our thoughts on the market. I think the big thing for us, during this journey, we did explore several markets. We at one point had a property in Sudbury, and we were driving all over Ontario. We ultimately ended up settling on Hamilton. I think to sum it up, like it reminded us of Toronto. That was a big piece of it. Driving through, it felt like the very early days of where Toronto was 15, 20 years ago. Is that
Maybe more than
even
that.
more than that? But just seeing a lot of trendy restaurants, seeing a lot of international franchises that we only see in Toronto.
Cranes.
Seeing lots of cranes, a lot of foundation, holes in the ground, foundations being poured, seeing a lot of big condos, new condos being built. I like to say a lot like we're not that bright, but we just follow the bright people, and that's what we're doing there. I mean, a big piece of it also was the new infrastructure, being put into Hamilton, the amount of capital that's being invested. At some point, I don't know when. You're smirking because I'm going to say LRT.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. There's a lot of fundamentals happening right now. And thank you for sharing that because you're right. Look, and what I love is the fact that you talked about the other markets that you invested in. But you're seeing some significant investments into the Hamilton market. LRT is a huge thing because, again, it's the transportation hub, right? For getting around the city. So I think that I agree with you that it's definitely worthwhile because Hamilton, the airport is going to be significantly invested in. The waterfront is completely being redeveloped. There's a lot of building high-rise buildings that's even coming in the near future. So seeing Hamilton in the next 10 years, I think is just going to be absolutely incredible. And so you guys are doing this in the Hamilton market, but I'm sure people are curious to know, well, what are you doing? So, if you want to share what are the projects that you're working on, would love to get an idea from you.
Sure. Do you want to take this one?
Sure. Yeah. So we're working on 2 5-unit conversions. So they're 2 single-family homes that we're converting to 5 units each for a total of 10 units.
Oh, brilliant. Absolutely. So single family homes,
Yes.
and you're converting to 10 units.
Yes.
Is it side by side or is it different locations?
They're different locations. They're about
Okay.
minutes away from each other in downtown.
Okay. Beautiful. I absolutely love that. So that's huge. So with that now, where are you with regards to that project? Is it already under construction? You're still working on the planning?
Yeah, they're both under construction. One's ahead of the other one. I mean, if we're going to get detailed into it, we should be done our rough-ins by the end of this week and closing up the walls for one property by next week. The other one, we did have to take a little pause on it. Some minor things that we have to deal with the city, but it does look like we're a week or two away. A few more comments to address. we got a little lucky with our examiner on that one, but I think it might be actually a blessing in disguise.
Well, and with that one, we're not building within the building envelope.
Right.
We're building an addition, an extension out the back to accommodate 3 more units. So that one's a little bit trickier, a little bit different.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that one, I mean, just right from the get-go, we knew that, we had to apply for site plan and minor variances, and all of that's been dealt with. We're just at the building department at this point. The
We have to register for an easement as well because we have really tight lot lines with our neighbors.
Yeah, that was one of the delays, and then but that one, we should be breaking. We've done what we could because there were some structural issues that had to be addressed. But while we were addressing the structural issues, we did a little bit extra because we could. And then so that one should be well on its way by the end of what are we, the beginning of September? So mid-September is actually what we're forecasting. Soon, which has been good because we've actually allocated all of our people on the one to push that one along, and then
it's been moving pretty quickly. So.
It's been moving very quickly, and then the financing aspect of on the exits, I think it's actually simplified our lives. So that's the blessing in disguise that I had mentioned earlier, because we're now noticing. I mean, I think everyone that's in the real estate space is aware of financing right now is fun is the word I like to use. It's a lot of fun. So not having two simultaneously at one time is probably a good thing. So that's where we are right now, and it's been a busy summer. So
Brilliant. Yeah, no, love it. And in fact, we could probably do a whole segment on the city of Hamilton getting through the approval process, because we're both working on projects in Hamilton with Judy Perry and myself on that 8-unit conversion as well. And boy, do we have stories to tell. That has to be a different segment for a different day.
Yeah.
But Hamilton does provide the opportunities, and the fact that you're doing that's a significant conversion, getting a single home into 5 units. That's how you make the money, right? When I say you make the money, you add significant value to properties by doing that. And then you're going into commercial financing, which is again a game change from the residential world. And I think that Hamilton does offer us a lot of opportunities that way. So, it's just a matter of finding the right deal, doing the number crunching, and making sure that it works well. But I also want to compliment both you and Sonia, because both of you are a couple that will always work together. We see you guys always around, presenting together, working on both the transaction and also working with fellow investors, right, that coming to your project. Being able to do that, I think, is a blessing in itself, the fact that you can spend this much time. So we'd love to get a little bit about your backstory in terms of how you decided to get into real estate and what has the journey been like so far.
Why did we decide to get into real estate, dear?
Well, the journey hasn't always been sunshines and rainbows.
There's been a lot of growth.
Yes, growth. Heated discussions and learning.
Yeah.
Together.
Yeah, there was a bit of an adjustment. It's very different when you're just husband and wife, but when you're business partners as well. You start to learn each other's working styles, and I think we were both surprised about each other's working styles, despite having known each other for as long as we have. But we got started. I mean, we were accidental landlord. I use the term accidental landlords in 2018 because we were in a condo. We didn't want to sell it. It was Sonia's first condo.
Right.
And we decided to move out and rent it out, and that's why I say accidental landlord. And that's kind of how we started, and we started. We had a plan from the beginning you know, to
purchase
to
more
purchase
condos.
purchase more properties, rent it out, and our plan was buy one, live in it long enough till we outgrow it, and then rent it out. And we had a 25-year
Yeah.
plan.
It was a slow
Um,
plan based on, you know, our lifestyle. That's what we wanted to do. And
well, that's all we
what
knew.
yeah, and then we
And
joined
so
Keyspire and
we got some education, and we realized 25 years wasn't necessarily, you know, it wasn't necessary. We could, you know, make
do
it
it a lot
5 years,
quicker.
10 years,
And we
or
didn't
even
have to
less than
buy
that.
one at a time. We could buy multiple units and live
Yeah,
in one, and
yeah.
that's what we ended up doing.
Learn
Yeah.
how to value,
Yeah.
and here we are now. You know, it's been 3.5 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, three
Just
and a
before
half years since we've taken a more active approach to our investing, versus
getting education
and constantly
yes.
getting educated, yeah. So
Yeah, I love that. Absolutely. I mean, that's a great backstory because again, you know, as we grow as people, we have to evolve.
mhm.
And sometimes you have to figure out where you are at this point in time in your life, because let's face it, no matter how hard we try, we cannot go back in time,
Mhm.
you know. So we always measure where are we today, and then you forge a plan for the future. So the fact that you guys are doing it that way, I love it. The accidental landlord is pretty cool. A lot of us have come into this space that way as well. My wife and I are as well. 20 years ago, that's the same thing. It's like we're going into the second house. What do we do with the first one? Well, why not rent it? You know, the experiences that came with that, again, a different story because it was quite interesting getting tough land tenants. So it was a whirlwind of learning, you know. But hey, you know, 20, 25 years later, you look back, it's like, wow, you know, what a journey, right? And it's the same thing for you. Like in 3.5 years, I think you guys have done an incredible job. Because to get into the space of why don't we do it? And then today being a working partner or developer on transforming properties into 5-unit buildings. I mean, that's getting into the commercial side, but you're building it out. To me, it's the biggest opportunity, but it's also one of your development is a high risk factor. I mean, that's just the way it is. But when you have a good working team, the team can really drive the value and eliminate a lot of that risk. And then you can really build forward because you're going to transform that property value significantly, right? And again, for our viewers too, like there's nothing different from Steven and Sonia's approach versus what you may be doing, right? In the sense that you got to find a laneway, or you got to find a strategy that's going to work for you, that when you wake up every morning, you're inspired, you're feeling great about the fact that you're doing something like that. Like, stresses aside, when you think about it, a couple here converting 2 properties into 10 units, like how cool is that? You know, it's going to come with headaches. But when you're done with that project, you've just created a footprint of 10 units that outside of a community network, you probably would, or it would only be a dream.
Yeah, that's definitely the truth. You know, this past week, my mom lives out west, and she was actually here visiting, and you know, she sees what we're doing on social media. She's curious,
Yeah.
and she asked to take a tour, and of course, I you know, I was happy that she was even interested, and we took the tour, and we were lucky enough to actually go see another 10-unit conversion in St. Catharines on the same weekend. And by the end of it, she said to me, I never thought anything like this ever existed in this world. Like she was completely blown
Right.
away, very happy and excited. And you're right, you know, and then for us, it almost seems normal because we're constantly surrounded by it, by this community of such amazing people willing to share, you know, like this podcast here, to share, you know, their journey, their strategies, because you
So we
know,
can learn from each
so we can learn
other.
from each other and grow together, right? So,
Absolutely.
yeah,
Yeah. No, that's great. I love the fact that your mom is so inspired by what you're doing. Because again, we're in the same space. Like we're the mom and dads as well. And when our kids are up at a certain age, we want to see what they're doing too, right? So that pop of gratitude and feeling proud is absolutely universal. So it puts a smile on your face, right? So I think that's just absolutely brilliant. I love the sharing. Hopefully you post some of that video in your social media so people can see that, right? See her
yeah.
reaction.
Yeah, she was like, she's like, so people like they like what? How did you? She kept going back like, so who started this thing? Who like why are they helping you? Like,
Like, how did you even know what to do? How do you
yeah,
start?
she's like, where did you even start
So
with
many
this?
questions.
She's like, just like, how did this even happen? Like,
Yeah.
who's the leader of this whole thing? And I'm like, because
Yeah.
it was just a large group of us, like-minded individuals, all there just to share and help. And she was, yeah, just never seen anything like that. And even for us at the beginning, like, I mean, it's been a few years now, but I remember at the beginning, there was a moment of, is this too good to be true? Like, are people really like,
Yeah.
and very, very quickly we realized that this community is very special, and we are, um, there to help each other, and we've paid it forward as well, and we're always offering whatever we can.
Yeah.
May it be just an ear to listen and kind of share our resources and different ways that we've been able to deal with things, or if not, direct them to a person that may have the answer as well, right? Because I know so many people have done that for us. So we wouldn't
100%.
be here, yeah, if we weren't so fortunate to meet the people that we have.
You know what? And that's a really good point to sort of build on a little bit further because even for myself, as you know, I do the training and development as well. And I find a lot of people, when they first come into it, feels daunting. They're not clear on their strategy, but I know that, and I've seen it time and time again, eventually they find their pathway. But for viewers looking at this as well, it's almost like, okay, how did you find your pathway into this? Like you've educated yourself, you've been able to network with people. You started from the accidental landlord, Sudbury, and now you're literally a developer at the end of the day. It's a conversion, but it's a conversion slash development that you're doing, right? So that's your laneway now.
Mhm.
How did you to do that? And I asked the question, but more so with terms of how can you advise somebody coming into the space as a newbie uh, to have some patience, to figure it out and get into your laneway.
We're laughing because have some patience is something that we struggled with at the beginning. I'm sure everybody struggles with that. You see social media, you see other people doing all these wonderful things, and you just want to jump in.
Yep.
We really just talked to a lot of people. We networked with a lot of people
Yeah.
just to get an idea of what it's like, what each strategy is like, and if that's right for us. I mean, it's one thing when you learn it on, somebody's telling you about, oh, there's all these different strategies, but you really have to see it in action and see if that fits your lifestyle, if that's something that you would enjoy, right? And we walked through our aha moment was we did a walk through one of Darren Voros's projects, and he was doing the 8-unit conversion in Toronto. And I think that's when we looked at each other and we thought, well, this is what we really want to do. At the time, did we have Sudbury at the time?
We did have Sudbury.
We did. I think we tried to do that in Sudbury, but it didn't feel like the right place to do that. And also, based on our personalities, Sudbury was too far. We like to be hands-on. We want to be there. We want to see the projects. Driving 4 hours, we're in Toronto, so driving 4 hours each way was just too far for us. And then going back to why we ended up in Hamilton, it only takes about 45 minutes for you. Is that
Yeah,
right?
when I go at 5 in the morning.
Or I mean, like I've taken the GO train there after work, and it's within
Yeah.
the hour during rush hour. I can get
Yeah.
to our property within an hour.
Yeah.
So it's not bad at all, just based on the proximity from Toronto where we live.
Yeah. Well, I think, yeah, just to go back to, you know, how we got to where we are today, or it's yeah, having those conversations, like the catalyst for us. I know even when we transacted in Sudbury, was having a conversation with another investor, showing up, you know, to different meetups, and just constantly being surrounded by others that are doing what you want to be doing, and you know, and then at some point just trusting our gut of what made sense for us,
Yeah. And what felt right.
and what felt
Which
right.
is trusting your gut.
Yeah, like just having that moment. Like every time we made a big decision, there was a moment of, you know, almost like a silence. We look at each other, and then we know, you know, like this is going down, huh? Like, okay, this is what we're doing. We didn't know what it looked like or how we were gonna do it. Those answers came later.
And like you said, for your viewers, I mean, it's different for everybody, right? So sometimes you watch HGTV and you see, oh, the flips look so cool, but is that realistic for your lifestyle? Do you want to be that active, or maybe you prefer to be passive investors and invest in projects, right? Which is our ultimate goal in the end, is to be passive. We want to be active now, but not forever.
Right.
I think, yeah. I mean, I think that evolves and changes too. I mean, you know, now that I'm in the thick of it, I seem to be addicted to it. You know, I can't help myself. Yeah, it's like, I mean, you know, I think we both always had a passion for it, but it's evolved to a different level, and I think, you know, it's going to be interesting to see. Yeah, we definitely want to, you know, like we've done some passive investing in the past, and you know, I don't think anyone is ever going to not like income. But then to be able to do something, you know, that you're passionate about, create something of value, and contribute back, right? Like to be able to, like it, you know, there's no denying how desperate we need housing in Ontario, and we like it here. You know, we'd like to be able to contribute back as well. But yeah, for like, you know, whenever we have a conversation with someone that's just starting out, I just say, just get out to as many meetups as possible, have as many conversations as possible, see what works for you. You know, feel it out, have those conversations, boots on the ground conversations. See the actual projects itself, because I know for us, you know, it's one thing to, in a formal setting, to crunch the numbers, look at it, look at Excel sheets, but it's a total different feeling you get when you actually get to see a property and walk through it, and then make that your new normal. Because I know, you know, like like even to this day, any opportunity I have, and yeah, any opportunity I have to actually see a property, and you know, construction renovations is kind of like baking a cake. There's more than one way to do it. So, you know, I've learned quite a bit, you know, just going through different job sites. So
Brilliant. Absolutely love that. Yeah, no, it's good advice, definitely. You know, if you want to walk in this space, best thing, find the people who's doing it and go see what they're doing. Because to your point, you will find the area that speaks to you, right? Like there's an intuitive part of us that says, hey, you know what, this looks amazing. This is probably what I could do every day, and I'll be feeling great about it, right? For our viewers as well, if you're willing to share, so they get a sense of really and truly what is the potential from a financial side. You know, if you can share with us kind of like potentially what was the purchase price of the properties you purchased, and then when you're completed with it, what is the estimated on complete value or after renovation value?
yeah, of course, I'll give you the one that's
Currently.
yeah, that's, you know,
Almost done.
almost done. So we purchased it for 635. Right now we're looking at a 450 to 500 construction budget. And I actually have an appraisal for this one right now, where I actually provided not below market, like I was very, very conservative on the rents. And it got an appraisal for 1.5. So
1.5.
1.5. And that was based on very, very conservative rents. So
Right. So 1.1, let's say, to 1.5 on the conservative side. And let's face it, there's a lot of dynamics that happens in the market. And in this case, because of the high interest rates, what is happening? Rents are being going very, very high to afford people to get into properties, right? So a landlord now is paying double what they were paying 2 years ago in terms of mortgages. Obviously, that's going to translate into higher rents, and in the multifamily space, higher rents equals higher value. So on the conservative side, you're at 1.5, and if you were to add, the higher rent by the time this property is completed, then you'll be north of that. So I mean, this is powerful. Like, not too many people on the 9 to 5 can add $400,000-500,000, in their annual, or even on a 2-year basis. So the fact that you can do this and you can still continue to do your day job until you transition full time, to me, it's brilliant. This is what it is. But as we said, this is not an easy road. So make sure and educate yourself, surround yourself with the right people, because then you can do it the right way. So thank you. Thank you so much for sharing that. I absolutely love that that valuation as well. And again, I know you guys are very active in the in terms of being a working partner and in the community, and I know you like to give back as well. So tell us a little bit about that. Like, how do people usually connect with you guys?
Instagram, Facebook, email, phone call, WhatsApp, Messenger, and
Zoom. I mean,
Zoom.
we
do a lot of Zoom calls. Anybody that ever wants to reach out just to learn more about our journey, we welcome it all the time. I throw this out there, and it's weird that no one, some people take me up on it. It's just, even if you want to run numbers, right, to go over a potential purchase.
We've done several of those.
But the number of times I've actually said it to people, and for people to actually, actually
feel bad. Don't feel bad. Just call it.
Yeah, I mean, it's like we were lucky enough to have people do it for us, and that's why we're just paying it forward. We're not, it's just that's people were leading by example, and we're just trying to do the same. So. But we're very active on Facebook Messengers. You're going to catch us Instagram Messenger. Is it called Messenger? It's DM. Or she handles the Instagram, I handle the Facebook. So
just Facebook, not the Facebook.
Wow. Yeah. That is. Yeah. So.
Yeah. And that's a good point, actually, you brought up, in the sense that when you want to be a good working partner, and you're using other people's money to fund your deal, you have to be connected. You absolutely need to be connected with them across all platforms in order to answer questions and to let them know that what you're working on, So the fact that you've split that up is absolutely brilliant, because that's the best way to do it. There, the social media piece can actually consume a lot of time, unless you manage it.
Yeah, we're still trying a way to be more efficient with it, but it is necessary, though. I mean,
I mean, it's a easy way for somebody to get to know us a little bit, to see who we are, maybe before they even reach out, see if they even want to talk to us, right?
Yeah, but even for our investors too, right? Just for them to not keep tabs on us, but
see updates and what we're working on.
Yeah.
What's new this week, kind of thing.
Yeah. So I mean, we do try to do newsletters to our passive investors, but that's more on a quarterly basis. But just for them to see
on our social, they can see
on our social that things are moving along and things are good, and just to share our journey and hopefully inspire others to go after the things that they want. Doesn't have to be real estate. Just there's something you want, go for it. We only live once, so
that's it. Follow your passions and translate it into some earning as well, because let's face it, there are bills to be paid. So you want passion, you want financial freedom coming together.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, guys, thank you so much. It was an absolute pleasure having you here on the Pineapple Podcast. We can't say enough. I think we'll have to definitely do a second segment, maybe on the social media side, because I find that to be quite interesting in itself. But again, just any last parting words as we say goodbye to this segment.
Last parting words. Well, just to express
Thank
our
you.
thanks to you for putting this podcast together, and we're honored to be here. And I guess just to your viewers, if anyone ever wants to reach out, we're a message away. And to wish everyone happy investing.
Thank you very much. And guys, again, remember to hit the like, subscribe, and notify button with the Pineapple Podcast as we continue to grow our base and share this information with people that you think would benefit from this. Once again, it's all about being tough on the outside, sweet on the inside, and wearing your crown of gratitude proudly. Have a great day, everybody.